तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्।
अंबिकातनया गजानना
अंबिकातनया गजानना
अंबिकातनया गजानना
अंबिकातनया गजानना
गजवदना गणनाथ गजानना
गजवदना गणनाथ गजानना
गजवदना गणनाथ गजानना
गजवदना गणनाथ गजानना
पाहि गणेशा विनायका
पाहि गणेशा विनायका
पाहि गणेशा विनायका
पाहि गणेशा विनायका
त्रिभुवन पालक मंगलदायक
त्रिभुवन पालक मंगलदायक
त्रिभुवन पालक मंगलदायक
त्रिभुवन पालक मंगलदायक
विद्या बुद्धि सिद्धि प्रदायक
विद्या बुद्धि सिद्धि प्रदायक
विद्या बुद्धि सिद्धि प्रदायक
विद्या बुद्धि सिद्धि प्रदायक
पाहि गणेशा विनायका
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 अंबिकातनया गजानना
अंबिकातनया गजानना
गजवदना गणनाथ गजानना
गजवदना गणनाथ गजानना
पाहि गणेश विनायका
पाहि गणेशा विनायका
त्रिभुवन पालक मंगलदायक
त्रिभुवन पालक मंगलदायक
विद्या बुद्धि सिद्धि प्रदायक
विद्या बुद्धि सिद्धि प्रदायक
पाहि गणेशा विनायका
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 अंबिका तनया गजानना सुंदर सुंदर विनायका
सुंदर विनायका
सुंदर सुंदर विनायका
सुंदर विनायका
शुभ मंगलदायक विनायका
शुभ मंगलदायक विनायका
शुभ मंगलदायक विनायका
शुभ मंगलदायक विनायका
विघ्न कोटि हर विमल गजानन
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 सकल विघ्न हर पाहि गजानन
सकल विघ्न हर पाहि गजानन
सकल विघ्न हर पाहि
विघ्न हर पाहि गजानन
ईश्वरी नंदन पर्ति गजानन
ईश्वरी नंदन पर्ति गजानन
ईश्वरी नंदन पर्ति गजानन
ईश्वरी नंदन पर्ति गजानन
सुंदर सुंदर विनायका
सुंदर विनायका
शुभ मंगलदायक विनायका
शुभ मंगलदायक विनायका
विघ्न कोटि हर विमल गजानन
विघ्न कोटि हर विमल गजानन
सकल विघ्न हर पाहि गजानन
विघ्न हर पाहि गजानन
ईश्वरी नंदन पर्ति गजानन
ईश्वरी नंदन पर्ति गजानन
ईश्वरी नंदन पर्ति गजानन
ईश्वरी नंदन पर्ति गजानन
जय जय गणेश जय श्री गणेश
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 जय गणेश जय श्री गणेश
जय जय गणेश जय श्री गणेश
जय गणेश जय श्री गणेश
जय 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 जय गणेश जय श्री गणेश
सुंदर सुंदर विनायका जय 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 गणनायका जय जय विघ्न विनाशका
जय 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 गणनायका जय जय विघ्न विनाशका
जय शुभ मंगलदायका विद्या बुद्धि प्रदायका
जय शुभ मंगलदायका विद्या बुद्धि प्रदायका
गजवदना गौरी नंदन
गजवदना गौरी नंदन
गजवदना गौरी नंदन
गजवदना गौरी नंदन
गंगाधर शिव शंभो नंदन
गंगाधर शिव शंभो नंदन
गंगाधर शिव शंभो नंदन
गंगाधर शिव शंभो नंदन
जय 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 गणनायका जय जय विघ्न विनाशका
जय 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 गणनायका जय जय विघ्न विनाशका
जय शुभ मंगलदायका विद्या बुद्धि प्रदायका
जय शुभ मंगलदायका विद्या बुद्धि प्रदायका
गजवदना गौरी नंदन
गजवदना गौरी नंदन
गजवदना गौरी नंदन
गजवदना गौरी नंदन
गंगाधर शिव शंभो नंदन
गंगाधर शिव शंभो नंदन
गंगाधर शिव शंभो नंदन
गंगाधर शिव शंभो नंदन
जय 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 गणनायका जय जय विघ्न विनाशका श्री गणेश श्री गणेश श्री गणेश पाहि मां
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 जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश रक्ष 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 मां
श्री गणेश पाहि मां 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 जय गणेश रक्ष मां
जय गणेश जय गणेश 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 जय गणेश रक्ष मां
श्री गणेश श्री गणेश श्री गणेश पाहि मां
श्री गणेश श्री गणेश श्री गणेश पाहि मां
जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश रक्ष मां
जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश रक्ष मां
श्री गणेश पाहि मां जय गणेश रक्ष मां
श्री गणेश पाहि मां जय गणेश रक्ष मां
जय गणेश जय गणेश 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 जय गणेश रक्ष मां
श्री गणेश श्री गणेश श्री गणेश पाहि मां
लम्बोदरा गणनाथ गजानन
लम्बोदरा गणनाथ गजानन
लम्बोदरा गणनाथ गजानन
लम्बोदरा गणनाथ गजानन
पार्वती नन्दन शुभानना
पार्वती नन्दन शुभानना
पार्वती नन्दन शुभानना
पार्वती नन्दन शुभानना
पशुपति तनया सिद्धि विनायक
पशुपति तनया सिद्धि विनायक
पशुपति तनया सिद्धि विनायक
पशुपति तनया सिद्धि विनायक
प्रणवाकारा शम्भो नन्दन
प्रणवाकारा शम्भो नन्दन
प्रणवाकारा शम्भो नन्दन
प्रणवाकारा शम्भो नन्दन
पतिपुरीशा पाहि गजानन
परदिपुरीशा पाहि गजानन
पतिपुरीशा पाहि गजानन
परदिपुरीशा पाहि गजानन
पार्वती नन्दन शुभानना
पार्वती नन्दन शुभानना
पार्वती नन्दन शुभानना
पार्वती नन्दन शुभानना
लम्बोदरा गणनाथ गजानन
लम्बोदरा गणनाथ गजानन
पार्वती नन्दन शुभानना
पार्वती नन्दन शुभानना
पशुपति तनया सिद्धि विनायक
पशुपति तनया सिद्धि विनायक
प्रणवाकारा शम्भो नन्दन
प्रणवाकारा शम्भो नन्दन
पतिपुरीशा पाहि गजानन
परदिपुरीशा पाहि गजानन
पार्वती नन्दन शुभानना
पार्वती नन्दन शुभानना
पार्वती नन्दन शुभानना
पार्वती नन्दन शुभानना
लम्बोदरा गणनाथ गजानन सिद्धि विनायक मंगलदाता
सिद्धि विनायक मंगलदाता
सिद्धि विनायक मंगलदाता
सिद्धि विनायक मंगलदाता
बुद्धि प्रदायक गणनाथ
प्रदायक गणनाथ
बुद्धि प्रदायक गणनाथ प्रभु विघ्नेश्वर तुम।
विघ्नहरण प्रभु विघ्नेश्वर तुम।
विघ्नहरण प्रभु विघ्नेश्वर तुम।
विघ्नहरण प्रभु विघ्नेश्वर तुम।
गौरी नंदन हे जगवंदन।
गौरी नंदन हे जगवंदन।
गौरी नंदन हे जगवंदन। नमोस्तुते नमोस्तुते। नमोस्तुते नमोस्तुते। सिद्धि विनायक मंगलदाता।
सिद्धि विनायक मंगलदाता।
बुद्धि प्रदायक गणनाथा।
गणनाथा।
सिद्धि विनायक मंगलदाता।
सिद्धि विनायक मंगलदाता।
विघ्नहरण प्रभु विघ्नेश्वर तुम।
विघ्नहरण प्रभु विघ्नेश्वर तुम।
गौरी नंदन हे जगवंदन।
हे जगवंदन।
नमोस्तुते नमोस्तुते।
नमोस्तुते
नमोस्तुते नमोस्तुते।
नमोस्तुते।
सिद्धि विनायक मंगलदाता। मंगलचरणा गजानना।
मंगलचरणा गजानना।
मंगलचरणा गजानना।
मंगलचरणा गजानना।
गजवदना शुभानना।
गजवदना शुभानना।
गजवदना शुभानना।
गजवदना शुभानना।
मंगलचरणा गजानना।
मंगलचरणा गजानना।
विद्यादायक बुद्धिप्रदायक।
विद्यादायक बुद्धिप्रदायक।
विद्यादायक बुद्धिप्रदायक।
विद्यादायक बुद्धिप्रदायक।
गौरी तनया गजानना।
गौरी तनया गजानना।
गौरी तनया गजानना।
गौरी तनया गजानना।
मंगलचरणा गजानना।
मंगलचरणा गजानना।
गजवदना शुभानना।
गजवदना शुभानना। चरणा गजानना
विद्यादायक बुद्धिप्रदायक
विद्यादायक बुद्धिप्रदायक
गौरीतनया गजानना
गौरीतनया गजानना
गौरीतनया गजानना
गौरीतनया गजानना
मङ्गलचरणा गजानना तुम हो विघ्न विनाश गणेशा
विघ्न विनाश गणेशा
तुम हो विघ्न विनाश गणेशा
विघ्न विनाश गणेशा
तुम हो 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 विघ्न विनाश गणेशा
विघ्न विनाश गणेशा
पार्वती नंदन पाहि गजानना
पार्वती नंदन पाहि गजानना
पार्वती नंदन पाहि गजानना
पार्वती नंदन पाहि गजानना
प्रणव स्वरूपा पर्तिपुरीशा
प्रणव स्वरूपा पर्तिपुरीशा
प्रणव स्वरूपा पर्तिपुरीशा
प्रणव स्वरूपा पर्तिपुरीशा
पाहि गणेशा विघ्न विनाशा
पाहि गणेशा विघ्न विनाशा
पाहि गणेशा विघ्न विनाशा
पाहि गणेशा विघ्न विनाशा
तुम हो विघ्न विनाश गणेशा
विघ्न विनाश गणेशा
तुम हो विघ्न विनाश गणेशा
तुम हो विघ्न विनाश गणेशा
तुम हो विघ्न विनाश गणेशा
विघ्न विनाश गणेशा
पार्वती नंदन पाहि गजानना
पार्वती नंदन पाहि गजानना
प्रणव स्वरूपा पर्तिपुरीशा
प्रणव स्वरूपा पर्तिपुरीशा
पाहि गणेशा विघ्न विनाशा
पाहि गणेशा विघ्न विनाशा
पाहि गणेशा विघ्न विनाशा
पाहि गणेशा विघ्न विनाशा
तुम हो विघ्न विनाश गणेशा
शुक्लाम्बरधरं गणपतिमन्त्रं
Shri Sai Ram and welcome to this fresh episode of OMS. Ganesha fervor is in the air. So this episode of OMS is going to have the flavor of OMG. Oh my Ganesha. So let me take you back to the 60s. The ashram then was a very quiet, small, absolutely serene place like how it has always been. But the size was just probably 1/10 of what it is now, and ashram was full of sands. Every time, every morning the sun rose, the ashram glistened with those golden rays reflecting on these beautiful sands. And you know what was the premium accommodation that one could get in those days? The tree which had the maximum shade, the tree which had the maximum number of leaves, because the darshan ground was just these sands and people lived there. The darshan ground was not only the place where Swami came for darshan, that is where people slept, that is where people ate, and Bhagwan was living just there, on the first floor of the mandir. So they spent their entire time with Swami, waiting for Swami, and Swami used to spend most of his time with the devotees. So morning 6 o'clock Bhagwan came out for darshan, and after that began series of interviews. So every person who came to Prashant Nilayam was blessed with an interview. Interviews went on till 11 in the morning. After that there were bhajan sessions. So there were hardly 50-100 people for darshan. So there was no one who came to Prashant Nilayam and did not have the chance of a personal interaction with Bhagwan. It was into such a Prashant Nilayam that Mr. Raman Rao, along with his friend Desikachari, came for the first time. This was in mid-60s. So Mr. Raman Rao came not because he wanted to come. It was because his friend Desikachari pulled him to Prashant Nilayam. Raman Rao sir did not believe in religion, he did not believe in rituals. For him, his friend mattered because along with his friend, he had had a lot of fun. And Desikachari said, I don't know what you'll say, you have to come to Prashant Nilayam at least once. And Raman Rao sir said, okay, I will come, but I have a condition. Once we see the Sai Baba and once we return, you should not tell me, okay, now you have seen a holy man, now you have seen Sai Baba, give up smoking, give up drinking, give up partying, give up playing cards. I am not going to listen. I will be what I am. If you agree, I will come. And Desikachari said, fine, I will not ask you to give up anything. I will only show you God. That's all. You do whatever you want after that. And Raman Rao sir did not make much of it. He said, fine, I want to go because I want to give you company. What you say doesn't mean anything much to me. Okay, so they come to Prashant Nilayam and they pick up, like everyone else, a tree, their accommodation, and they sit for morning darshan. And Bhagwan comes, and Desikachari was waiting to be called by Bhagwan because he has had so many chances earlier. Every time he came to Prashant Nilayam, Swami would call him for interview. But this time it was different. Swami came, Swami spoke to the person to the left of him, right of him. Swami saw through him. And Swami did not look at him. And Desikachari thought, okay, probably Swami will call me in the evening. The same thing happened. Swami, when he came near him, Swami looked the other way, and now it started bothering Desikachari. He was wondering, what is this happening? It has never happened before. Every time I come, Swami calls me inside. What is wrong with this trip? But Raman Rao sir was at his investigative best. So he was trying to speak to everyone who was coming out of the interview room. He was trying to find out, what did Swami tell this person? What is it that Swami is asking for this person? So he found out that every person who was coming out of the interview room was coming out happy, coming out joyful. Every person was saying that their problem is solved. Someone had lost his son, they got back a son. Somebody had lost money, he got back. Someone was having some ailment, he was cured. And he asked, did Baba ask you any money? He said, no, what ask? He is giving us much more than what we have. What do you mean asking? He is not asking. In fact, he is telling us to serve. He is telling us to go out and give people. This was kind of a pleasant surprise for Raman Rao, because he had this impression that all these holy men, they say they are god men and they don all these ochre robes and they form ashrams and they collect money to lead a luxurious life. So he had all these weird notions about holy men. So that was kind of something which softened the impressions that Raman Rao sir about the ashram. He felt, this is so good, he's only asking people to serve. So he continued to speak to people, and here his friend Desikachari was feeling miserable. The second day dawned and Desikachari was pining for that one look of Bhagwan, and the same thing repeated. Swami came near them, but Swami did not pick Desikachari for interview. And now Raman Rao sir started feeling bad for Desikachari. He thought, this man, poor fellow, when he came alone, he always got interview. Because of my company, that this time he's not getting an interview. But he didn't know what to do about it. He definitely wanted that, Desikachari should be blessed. But he was telling, maybe next time he should come alone. And Desikachari was feeling, no, see, I have done a good thing. I have brought someone new to Swami. Why is Swami treating me like this? So that whole Desikachari was irreconcilable. He just could not take it that Swami was not calling for interview. And that was the last night. The next day they were to leave. But that night, something very curious happened. At 11 in the night, Raman Rao sir wakes up because he has this splitting headache, unable to sleep. And he wakes up and he's trying to look for his medicine chest, the box that he usually carries, which has the usual paracetamol and the kind of remedies that always gives him relief. But he had forgotten to bring that. And this headache was so terrible, he didn't know what to do. He tried to take a walk on the sands. There was a cool breeze, but nothing was helping him. He tried to take a wet handkerchief and put it on his forehead, but that was only causing him more pain. He didn't know what to do. The headache was sort of killing him. And then he saw this busload of people who had come from Kerala, it looked like, because they were speaking Malayalam. They got down, and Raman Rao said, maybe someone will have some remedy there. So he went to that group of people. He was wearing this dhoti and this vest, and and put this cloth, the handkerchief on his head. So he went and he couldn't communicate in Malayalam. So he was asking them for something, and someone thought that he's someone in need, probably seeking alms. So they put some money on his palm. So you imagine, as it is, he's having this headache and being treated like this. He is actually a very big officer. He later on became the drug controller of the state of Andhra Pradesh. So he was feeling so terrible. It could not have been worse. And now someone else came. He understood that, okay, this man has a problem, and they tried to give him some oil. But that oil was smelling so strong. As it is, he was suffering from this headache. He ran away from the place because that person was saying, I will do a massage. Even if you touch his head, it was like absolutely traumatic. So he just ran away from this place. He didn't know what to do. He could not walk, could not think, because the headache was absolutely too much for him to bear. But even as this was happening, he saw something very interesting. He saw that this group of people who alighted from the bus, everyone was very religiously going around the mandir. So in the dead of the night, they were doing pradakshinas, circumambulating around the Prashantinilaya Mandir, that is where Bhagwan was staying. And they take 3 rounds and they come and they stand in front of a Ganesha, which was there right in front. And they were all praying, and they were all with so much of faith, so much of love, so much of penitence. They were offering their salutations to that Ganesha. Somehow that scene touched Raman Rao sir. If you look at the photographs of the 60s, in front of the mandir, in those days, there was this huge circle which separated the ladies from the gents. In the middle of this circle was this stupa, silver stupa, and on top of the stupa was this beautiful lotus, fully bloomed lotus, which signified self-realization. In front of the stupa, just outside the circle, was a beautiful, white, shining, sparkling Ganesha. And in front of this Ganesha was a gate which had images of all the 10 incarnations. It used to be called the Dasavatara gate. So everyone who came to Prashantinilayam, they came through this gate, which is now the Gopuram gate, but the gate is much into the ashram then. So everyone who came to Prashantinilayam first offered their salutations to this Ganesha. It was like the sun, the divine sun, Lord Ganesha was welcoming everyone who had come for the darshan of his father, Lord Shiva. So everyone first offered their salutations, and Ganesha was assuring everyone, saying, you have come to my father's abode, I will look after you, I will take care of you. That was the duty Ganesha did right from the 60s, and even today that is what happens. Ganesha is there on the east gate, Ganesha is there on the north gate. Everyone who comes to Prashantinilayam first offers their obeisance to Ganesha, seeks the blessings of Ganesha, and Ganesha tells you, don't worry, you have come to my father's place, I am the divine son, I will look after you, you will be in peace. So that was what the scene even then. And Raman Rao sir saw this scene and something moved him. And he felt, wow, everybody's praying to this Ganesha and seeking solutions. Why don't I do that? So he stood there and he folded his hands and he prayed to that Ganesha. He looked at Bhagwan's room, which was just opposite, straight, first floor. Swami was in the mandir, and he said, I had no intention of coming to this place. Oh Ganesha, oh Baba, whoever you are, I did not want to come here. This friend pulled me here, and I'm suffering so much. I'm having this killer headache. If I were to be in Hyderabad, by now I would have found a solution. I don't want to go through this trauma in this unknown place. Everybody is saying you are God. If you are indeed God, then this headache should immediately go. Otherwise, you are not a God, you are a fraud. He puts this test, he drops this challenge, and Raman Rao sir goes back to his mattress under the tree. And the next thing he remembers is early morning, 4 o'clock, somebody is waking up, get up, get up, get up. We have to prepare the darshan ground because Swami is going to come now. They have to get ready for Suprabhatam. And so both of them get ready. They come for darshan, and Bhagwan comes out for darshan as usual. And this is the last darshan they are having. Desikacharya is hoping beyond hopes that today at least Swami will call them. But the same thing happens, and Desikacharya is crestfallen. Swami did not call them. This was the last time they could have had any moment with Swami. And he is crying, and Raman Rao sir is saying, next time you come alone. And Desikacharya is, no, what? Next time we will come again together, but we'll stay for 10 days. We will wait till he gives us an interview. And and they were preparing to leave because they had to leave. And just then, someone comes running from Bhagwan's interview room and says, Swami is calling Mr. Desikacharya and the friend who has come along with him who is wearing dark glasses, which was Raman Rao sir. So they rushed to Swami's presence to the first floor of Mandir where Bhagwan was. And as soon as they reach Swami's presence, Desikacharya is telling Raman Rao, touch his feet, offer salutations. And very hesitantly, Raman Rao sir, folds his hands. And the moment Swami looks at Raman Rao, Swami says, Hey Rowdy, how is your headache? And Raman Rao sir is unable to, he's blinking. He's unable to understand what Swami is telling. And Desikacharya is telling, what headache, Swami? And Swami affectionately pats Raman Rao. Hey Rowdy, tell, how did your headache go? That's when Raman Rao sir actually realized that he had indeed such a traumatic headache. Means after that challenge to Bhagwan in front of that Ganesha, he had gone back to sleep, and he had such a sound sleep that the next morning he had no memory even of that terrible night. And Desikacharya is telling Swami, what is this headache, Swami? I don't know anything about it. Swami says, even Desikacharya doesn't know anything. Raman Rao also doesn't know anything about it. He has completely forgotten. He says, tell what happened. Is the headache gone now completely? That is when it really hits Raman Rao. what had happened the previous night, the challenge that he had put, and he falls at the feet of Bhagwan for the first time in his life. He was touching the feet of Bhagwan with absolute reverence. Reverence for his omniscience and gratitude for his munificence, for the way he had cured him and the way he had told him how he is the divine orchestrator of everything. And that was a point of no return for Raman Rao sir. The journey that started for Raman Rao sir on that morning continued in such a glorious manner that it was Raman Rao sir with whom Swami started the first batch of Sevadals in late 60s. He was part of every major initiative of the Sai mission till 2010, when at the ripe age of 90, sir was the editor of the Telugu Sanatan Sarathi till his last moment. He served Swami and he stood out as an exemplar of faith, devotion, servitude. And this journey started with his prayer, the challenge and the blessing, the test that he put in front of Lord Ganesha, which Lord Ganesha converted it into a testimony of his love. Every time we step into Prashanti Nilayam, there are these beautiful Ganeshas welcoming us in the main shrine, the umbrella Ganesha at the Gopuram gate. We don't know what magic these Ganeshas are weaving into our lives. But this much we do know. Once we offer our salutations to Lord Ganesha, he will comfort us, he will protect us, he will remove all the obstacles, he will take us closer to Swami, he will carry us, and he will become the carrier of the divine blessings of Bhagwan, the divine parent, into our lives. So every time we step into Prashanti Nilayam, let us pray that every moment of our lives, no matter where we are, is filled with these OMS moments where we tell Swami, Swami, thank you so much. Oh my Sai, you are awesome. And we look at Ganesha and we say, oh my Ganesha, you are the bestest, you are the cutest. Thank you so much. Sai Ram.
जय जगदीश हरि स्वामी सत्य साई हरि भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्त जना सद्गुरुदेवा शांति 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 समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय।
गजानना श्री गणराया